Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, how are you today? I hope you are always in a good condition. Now, in this video, we would like to present a mentor of introduction, principle of management. But before it, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Aliffa Nurul Fithriyah and my friend Astri Damaihati, Riry, Veronicha, Khasanah, Nadiatun Nasiroh, Muhammad Habib, Firdaus, and Ilman, Azmi, Fasya. We are from majoring of Office Administration Education 2020 State University of Jakarta. So be attention please, and here we go the presentation. Definition of management. Managing is one of the most important activities of human life. To accomplish aims that could not be achieved individually, people start forming groups. Managing has become essential to ensure the coordination of individual effort. Principle of management. 1. Division of work, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, subordination of individual interest to general interest, union is strength, initiative, equity, color chain, order, stability of tenure of personnel, remuneration, and centralization. A history of management theory. Historical development and globalization. Early management principles were born of necessity. The most influential of these early principles were set forth by Henry Fayol, a French mining engineer. In 1888, Fayol became director of a mining company. The company was a difficulty, but Fayol was able to turn it around and make the company profitable again. When he retired, Fayol wrote down what he done to save the company. He helped develop an administrative science and develop principles that he thought all organizations should follow if they were to run properly.
Well, now about the material. Who is a manager? Who is manager? Managers are defined as people who have the experience, knowledge, and skill to be able to lead, manage, control, organize, and develop an organization in order to achieve its goals. Manager also refers to someone who can direct others and is able to be responsible for the activity or job. Then, type of manager. Based on the level, the manager is divided into 4. 1. Top managers are responsible for developing the organization's strategy and being a steward for its vision and mission. A second set of managers includes functional, team, and general managers. 2. Functional managers are responsible for the efficiency and effectiveness of an area such as accounting or marketing. 3. Supervisory or team managers are responsible for coordinating a subgroup of a particular function or a team composed of members from different parts of the organization. 4. A general manager is someone who is responsible for managing a clearly identifiable revenue producing unit such as a store, business unit, or product line. General managers typically must make decisions across different functions and have a reward tied to the performance of the entire unit. Next, the nature of managerial work. The managers are responsible for the process of getting activities complete efficiently with and through other people and setting and achieving the firm's goals. Based on research from Henry Minberg, the nature of managerial work is 1. Managerial work is the lifeblood of most organizations because it serves to choreograph and motivate individuals to do amazing things. Managerial work is exciting. and it is hard to imagine that there will ever be shortage of demand for capable, energetic managers. Next, 2. Managerial work is necessarily fast-paced and fragmented, where managers at all levels express the opinion that they must process much more information and make more decisions than they could have ever possibly imagined. 3. Managers are responsible for getting work done through others. The key managerial functions are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling.
For this part, let's get into decision making. Good decision making is a vital part of a good management because decisions determine how the organization solves problems, allocates resources, and accomplishes its goals. A decision is a choice made from available alternatives. Decision making is the process of identifying problems and opportunities and then resolving them. Management decisions typically fall into one of two categories, program and non-program. Program decision are a choice made in response to a situation that is unique, is poorly defined and largely unstructured, and has important consequences for the organization. Many non-program decisions are related to strategic planning because uncertainty is great and decisions are complex. Every decision situation can be organized on a scale according to the availability of information and the possibility of failure. The decision-making process typically involves 7 steps. The step 1 is identify the decision. You realize that you need to make a decision. Try to clearly define the nature of the decision you must make. This first step is very important. Step 2. Gather relevant information. Collect some relevant information before you make your decision. What information is needed, the best sources of information, and how to get it. This step involves both internal and external work. Some information is internal. You will seek it through a process of self-assessment. Other information is external. You will find it online, in books, from other people, and from other sources. Step 3. Identify the alternative. As you collect some information, you will probably identify several possible paths of action or alternative. You can also use your imagination and additional information to construct new alternatives. In this step, you will list all possible and desirable alternatives. Step 4. Weigh the evidence. Draw on your information and emotion to imagine what it would be like if you carried out each of the alternatives to the end. Evaluate whether the need identified in step 1 would be met or resolved through the use of each alternative. As you go through this difficult internal process, you will begin to favor certain alternatives, those that seem to have a higher potential for reaching your goal. Finally, place the alternative in a priority order based upon your own value system. Step 5. Choose among alternatives. Once you have weighed all the evidence, you are ready to select the alternative that seems to be best one for you. You might even choose a combination of alternatives. Step 6. Take action. You are now ready to take some positive action by beginning to implement the alternative you chose in step 5. And this is the final step or the last step. Review your decision and its consequences. In this final step, consider the result of your decision and evaluate whether or not it has resolved the need you identified in step 1. If the decision has not identified need, you may want to repeat certain steps of the process to make a new decision. For example, you might want to gather more detailed or somewhat different information or explore additional alternatives. Further, decision-making process can be regarded as a check and balance system that keeps the organization growing both in vertical and linear. It means that decision-making process seeks a goal. The goals are preset business objective, company mission, and its vision.
Function of management is a systematic way of doing things. Management is a process to emphasize that all managers, irrespective of their aptitude or skill, engage in some interrelated function to achieve their desired goals. Management has four functions. There are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. One main role of manager is creating a plan to meet company goals and objectives. Planning requires those in management roles to continuously check on team progress in order to make small adjustments when necessary, while still maintaining a clear picture of a company's larger aim and goals. There are 5 steps in the planning process. The first, the process begins with SWOT analysis, which means that planners must be aware of critical factors facing their organization in terms of economic condition, their competitor, and their customer. The second, planners establish organizational objectives. Organizational objectives are statements of what needs to be achieved and when. The third, planners identify multiple ways of achieving those objectives, with an eye toward choosing the best path to reach each objective. The fourth, planner must formulate the necessary steps and ensure effective implementation of plans. And the last, planners must constantly monitor the progress of their plan and evaluate the success of those plans, making adjustments as necessary. The second function is organizing. Organizing is a management function that develops an organizational structure and coordinates human resources within that structure to achieve organizational objectives. From established internal process and structure to knowing which employees or team are best suited for specific tasks. Keeping everyone and everything organized through daily operation are important function of management. The purpose of an organization structure is to create an environment for the best human performance. The third basic managerial function is leading. It is the skill of influencing people or particular purpose or reason. Leading is influencing or promote the member of the organization to work together with the interests of organization. The function of direction, motivation, communication, and coordination are considered a part of the leading processor system. The last function of management is controlling. To ensure all of above functions are working toward the success of a company, managers should consistently monitor employee performance, quality of work, and efficiency and reliability of complete the project. Controlling is measuring, comparing, finding deviation, and correcting the organizational activities which are performed for achieving the goals or objective. Controlling consists of activities like measuring the performance, comparing with the existing standard and finding the deviation, and correcting the deviation. The controlling function requires monitoring performance so that it meets the performance standard established by organization. Controlling consists of 3 steps: setting performance standard based on the company's objective, measuring and comparing actual performance against standard, and taking corrective action when necessary. Control activities generally relate to the measurement of achievement or result of action that we are taken to attain the goal.
Leadership, entrepreneurship, and strategy. Number 1. Leadership. Great leaders have built an organization, human capital, then motivate individuals to take concrete action. Leadership also includes an understanding of when, where, and how to use formal of authority and power, such as position or ownership. Entrepreneurship. Indeed, the opportunity-driven nature of entrepreneurship is critical. Opportunities are typically characterized as problems in search of solution, and the best opportunities are big problems in search of big solutions. The great, the inconsistent in existing service and quality. In late times and in late times, the great, the vacuum and gaps in information and knowledge. The great, the opportunities. Strategy. Then strategy is the central integrate externally our concept of how an organization will achieve its objective. Strategic management is important to our organization because when correctly formulated and communicated, strategy provides leaders and employees with a clear set of goals for their daily action.
Performance at the individual and group level. Humans are one of the important dimensions in organizational. Organizational performance is very dependent on the performance of the individual in it. All work in the organizational, the member determine its success. The work carried out individually and in groups equally important in realizing organization goal. Individual and group work has their own respective weights and interests which are equally important in the sustainability of the organization. Next is group performance. Group performance which describe the extent to which a person has carried out his main tasks of so that it can provide results that have been determined by the group or agency. Bringing several individuals together to work on complex projects that cannot be completed by one person. The benefit of working in groups such as like work, increase socialization, get more source and reference, but there are also disadvantages such as debates because of different opinions. Individual performance. Individual performance is the result of employee work both in terms of quality and quantity based on predetermined work standard. This individual performance will be achieved supported by individual attribute work effort and organizational support. Individual work has the advantage of being able to work with focus and calm. Work according to our own work ethos and principles. Work completion that doesn't need to be consulted, but has long-lasting. Disadvantage when doing work is quicker to give up when experiencing difficulties and have to solve it yourself. Unable to ask others for help and it's physical and mentally exhausting.